In the digital Wild West of social media, battles are fought with words, memes, and hashtags. But in the summer of 2020, a new kind of outlaw emerged. One who didn't just argue with a political firebrand, but pretended to put a bullet in him. This is the story of a username that became a ghost, a prank that became a legend, and the frantic hunt for the one they called the Charlie Kirk Shooter. To understand the shooter, you first have to understand the target. Charlie Kirk, founder of the conservative student organization Turning Point USA, is a master of the new media landscape. To his supporters, he's a bold voice for his beliefs. To his detractors, he's a prolific source of provocative content. And in the hypercharged atmosphere of 2020, his Twitter feed was a central battleground in the culture war. It began subtly. A reply to a Kirk tweet. No words, just a single, stark image, a screenshot of the tweet itself, but with a crucial addition, a sniper's crosshair, perfectly centered on Charlie Kirk's avatar. The account name left no room for interpretation. This wasn't a one-off. It was a campaign. Like a phantom, the account would appear in Kirk's mentions, post its calling card, and disappear. It was a performance art piece of pure trolling. There was no direct threat, no violent language. Just an unsettling, persistent image. The internet sat up and took notice. The myth was born. Naturally, Twitter's moderators took action. The account was reported, reviewed, and swiftly suspended for violating policies against threatening imagery. The hunt, it seemed, was over before it began. But the shooter was prepared. The moment one account was banned, another would rise, like a hydra, to take its place. The shooter had created a digital sleeper cell of himself. The game was afoot. This wasn't just a troll, it was a strategist. With the shooter proving so elusive, the online community began to speculate. Who was behind the screen? We can break down the likely suspects into 3 profiles. Theory 1, a dedicated left-wing activist. The shooter's actions were a form of political theater, a symbolic, taking aim at an ideological opponent. The method was crude, but the message was clear. Theory 2, and perhaps the most likely, an anonymous shitposter. For this person, the politics were secondary to the lulz. The goal wasn't to make a political statement, but to create chaos, to bait a reaction from a public figure, and to become an internet legend. The meticulous planning, the backup accounts, points to a seasoned troll. And then, the most fringe theory, was it an insider? Someone trying to make Kirk look like a victim, to galvanize his base. The shooter's ability to consistently evade detection was, to some, suspicious. Was this a false flag operation? While unlikely, in the paranoid world of online politics, no theory was off the table. The phenomenon grew so large that it eventually broke through to the target himself. Charlie Kirk addressed the shooter directly on his podcast. This is a sick individual. This is not a joke. This is the kind of violent rhetoric that, it's meant to intimidate. For the shooter, this was the ultimate victory. They had gotten a rise out of their target. Kirk's serious, condemnatory response was, in the world of trolling, a trophy. As with all internet phenomena, the heat eventually died down. The accounts were suspended, and new ones appeared less frequently. The shooter's campaign slowly faded. Why? Perhaps the joke had run its course. Maybe the shooter grew bored once the peak reaction was achieved. Or, just possibly, a more serious warning from law enforcement or platform administrators landed. The phantom simply vanished, leaving only a digital footprint. What do you think? Was it a political statement, an elaborate joke, or something else? Let us know in the comments. And if you have any unsolved internet mysteries you want us to investigate, tell us below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories the cyber enigma. Thanks for watching.